Welcome to Learn Commerce PU online classes. Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
Next concept, we already completed some of the concept that is in our ER diagram, entity relationship diagram, and we know that the components of the ER diagram, entity, and second one is the attributes here, and third one is called as the relationship, and the relationship are classified as binary, recursive, and also the ternary relationship, and we already completed some binary relationship, again classified into three types are one to one, one to many, here many to many relationship, correct? No? Now let's the next thing about our participation constraints. So how many participations are there? So we can say that such participation constraints, the meaning of the constraints is called as the rules here. So the total participation and partial participation is there. Now what do you mean by here total participation? That means here all entities in the entities are involved in the relationship. Maybe 5 tables are there and every table is involved in the relationship. They are related with each other. They are related one to another here. So maybe the 5 tables are there. Every table is related with each other. So this is called as the, or this one is called as about total participation. The meaning of the total participation means here, yeah, maybe the all entities in the entities is involved or are involved in the relationship. And how you are representing whether it's a total participation or the partial participation. Such a total participation is represented using or by our double lines. Clear this point here? Why? Because the diagram, the entity related with another entity, one table related with another table here, and such a total participation is represented by using the double lines. So this shows, why? Because here double lines are that, this is called as the total participation. And second thing about our partial participation, why? Because total we know that every entity involved in the relationship. Now we can say that about partial participation, here not all entities are involved in the relationship. Maybe 5 tables are there, just only maybe 2 or 3 tables are related with one table to another table here. That means here the other 2 tables not making any relationship between these tables here or between those tables here. So we can say that here the meaning of the partial participation, that means not all entities are involved in the relationship, and such partial participation is represented using single line. Okay, why? Because this is called as the total participation by using the double line, and the partial participation represented by single line. Now our let's see the next thing about our recursive relationship. Why? Because we already know some of the participation rules or the constant. First one is the total participation and second one is called as the partial participation. Now what do you mean by a recursive relationship? Why? Because the relationship are classified into binary relationship, recursive relationship, and the ternary relationship. We already know binary, the relation between two entities. Now next thing about our recursive relationship, when an entity we can say that related with itself. Why? Because if one table is there, all those column related with itself here. In one table only all those column going to relate with itself here. So this is called about our recursive relationship. So when an entity, the meaning meaning of the entity is the table. So when a table or when a table here or when an entity is related with itself is known as the recursive relationship. Okay, and lastly about our ternary relationship. What do you mean by a binary? That means the relation between two entities. So the meaning of the ternary, we can say that the relationship occurs or exists between three entities, three table within or between three tables is called as the ternary relationship. And after completing the everything about or everything in our ER diagram, why? Because we many completed in ER diagram, the completion parts are the entity, attributes here, and the relationship containing some of the classification about the binary, and binary also containing some other classification. So after knowing each and everything here and also completing the relationship, that is called as the recursive relationship as well as the ternary. So next thing about our generalization and the specialization. Why? Because we know that this is the diagram for our generalization and the specialization. So now these two are called as the generalization and this one is called as the specialization. Now what do you mean by a generalization? So we can say that generalization is a bottom up approach. Okay, clear this point here. It is a bottom up approach in which two lower level entities can be combined to form one higher level entity is called as the generalization. Clear the meaning of the generalization? We can say that the generalization is a bottom up approach. So this one is called as the generalization in which two lower level entities can be combined to form one higher level entity. We combined it together just to form here, just to build up one higher level entity. So this is the meaning about our generalization. Now what about the specialization? Now which one is called as the specialization? Now this one is called as the specialization. Okay, so this diagram in this case here, just only this much is called as the specialization. So what about the specialization is a top down approach. Clear this point here. Why? Because it is a specialization is a top down approach here in which one higher level entity can be broken down into two lower level entities. Okay, clear this point here. What about the specialization and the generalization? So we can say that this one is the generalization and this one is the specialization. Specialization meaning it is a top down approach in which here we can say that one higher level entity, these are the lower level entities and this one is the higher level entity. The higher level entity can be broken down into two lower level entities is called as the specialization. So clear the meaning of the generalization and the specialization here. And after completing generalization and the specialization, the next very important concept that is called as the keys here. And what's the meaning of the keys and why we are using such keys? So we can say that the word key is used especially in our relational database design. Now what do you mean by a relational database design here? So the relational database design is simply called as the table. That means while going to create the table or in table we are using some of the keys here. So we can say that the word key used, specially used in tables here or specially going to use in our relational database design. Now why we using? Why? Because they are specially used to establish and as well as to identify the relation between tables. Why? Because just to make the connection, just to make the relationship between each table or between one another or within the table here, we need to use some of the keys here. So we can say that the key are specially used to establish and also as well as to identify the relationship between the entities, between the tables here. Now what's the meaning of the key? Why? Because a key is a set of one or more columns. That means we can use such key constants, such key rules for the one column of a table or for more than one column of a table also here. So is a set of one or more more columns here and whose combined values are unique. Clear this point here. So whatever, for which column we are using some of the for which column we are using represent some of the keys. So such key, that means going to add the going to enter the value only once. It's not possible to repeat the same value again and again in such columns here. So we can say that is a set of one or more columns whose combined values are unique among all occurrences in a given table. So this is the meaning of our keys here. So clear this point here. What's the meaning of the key? Why? Because the key we can use maybe for one column of a table or maybe for more than one column of a table also. Clear this point here. And if you are going to use the key operation or the key constant in any table, so what's the rule it going to use? Why? Because it is a set of one or more column whose combined values are unique. That means such value not going to repeat again and again in such columns here. So whose combined values are unique among all occurrences in a given table. So this is the meaning about our keys here. And after knowing the meaning of the keys, there are various types of relational keys. So what are the types are there in our relational keys? So some of the types are, first one is the candidate key, second one is the primary key, alternate key, and such alternate key is also calling as the secondary key, and later next one, the fourth point we can say as the super key, and last one is called as the foreign key. Why? Because we already know the meaning of the key. Now I am going to start the first key, that is called as the candidate key, and such candidate key is also called as, or the short form of the candidate key is the CK. Clear? CK, candidate key. So we can say that the candidate key is any set of one or more columns. So whatever the meaning we used, we written, or whatever the meaning I set for our keys, okay, the same meaning going to apply to our, the same answer going to apply to our candidate key. So what's the meaning of the candidate key? Here also it is a set of, or is any set of one or more columns whose combined values are unique. Clear this point here. Unique among all tuple or the row here. Why? Because what the meaning of the tuple here? The record, the row only called as the tuple. A single entry in a table is called as the record, row or tuple. Clear this point here. So we can say that whatever the value we enter in, such value not going to repeat. So this is the meaning about our candidate key. No any difference for our keys and the candidate key. That means it is a set of one or more columns whose combined values are unique among all occurrences in a tuple. Clear? In a tuple or among all occurrences in a given table. But also the most important thing we can say in our candidate key. So we can say no component of the candidate key is allowed to be null. Clear this point here? No component of the candidate key is allowed to be null. N-U-L-L here. So what's the meaning of the null? So maybe here we can say that now this is the table, okay, and this table containing some of the columns as well as the rows here, and we know that maybe it's a ID, and second column name is the name here, and the third column name we can say as the address. So the first column name is the ID, name, and the address here. So the null value means for ID I am using as the 1, and later next one is about we can say about whatever the number. So I am using as the 0, and for address I am using as the Karkala. So I already said no component of the candidate key is allowed to be null. So what about the null value? That means there maybe if you are using the 0 value, it is not called as the null value. Clear this point here? So the null value in a table is a value in a field that appears to be blank. Clear this point here? So that means if you are not using any value, that means no any value is there in cell, so it appears to be blank, such value is called as the null value. Or a null value is a field with no value or the missing value. But in case we can say that the null value is different than 0 value. Maybe if you are using any value, the value is the 0, it is not called as the null value. So clear this point here. If you are selecting any column as a candidate key, that means you need to use some value, you need to enter some value in each cell. Clear this point here. So no component of the candidate key is allowed to be null. The meaning of the null is the null value. That means here the null value means we need to it's not possible, it is totally different from the zero value here. If you are using the zero value, it is not called as the null value. Or maybe a field contains spaces, it is also not called as the null value. When it is called as the null value, if you are not using any value in cell, okay, here the cell will be blank. In this case, on that time it is called as the null value. But also the rules of the candidate key, no component of the candidate key is allowed to be null. That means we need to use some value for each cell of a row. Clear this point here, for each cell of a column, otherwise we can say. And after that, let's the next thing about our primary key. So what about the primary key here? Why? Because such primary key short form is called as the PK. Clear this one? The PK full form we can say as the primary key. So the primary key is a candidate key. So what's the meaning of the candidate key? That means the value not going to repeat. Correct? No? It's called as the candidate key. So we can say that the primary key is a candidate key here. And the primary key, if you are selecting for any column as a primary key rules here, that means that is the most appropriate to become the primary key or become the main key of the table here. That means it is the most important key of the table. It is the first column of the table here and the most important to become the main key of the table also. That is called as the primary key. For one more question, we can write the answer for the primary key as the primary key is a key that uniquely identifies each record in a table. That means what's the meaning of, and I already explained for our primary key, that means some column name we can use for the primary key as the maybe the bank account number, such number not going to repeat here, or maybe the student ID, employee ID, and as well as we can take as the driving license number also, such value not going to repeat here. That means finally we can say that by which only one value can exist, no duplication can. Okay, so this is the meaning about our primary key. So clear this point here. What about the primary key? That means it is the most important key of the table here, and finally we can say that is the key and uniquely identifies each record in a table. That means such value not going to repeat again in any column, in any record here. Such key or such value is called as the primary key. If you are going to select, so many keys we can select for our table. And let's the next that is called as the alternate key. Why? Because I already said about our candidate key. You know the meaning of the candidate key. Second thing I said about our primary key here, and the third thing now I'm going to explain, that is about our alternate key. Now, but in short form I written as the SK. Why? Because actually I need to write alternate key means AK. Correct? No, kya? But actually such alternate key is also called as the secondary key. Clear this point? Primary key means here the first column of a table is called as the primary key. It is the main key of the table is called as the primary key. Okay, and uniquely identify each record in a table is called as the primary key. Now alternate key also calling as the secondary key. Now what do you mean by a alternate key? So we can say that the alternate key of any table are simply those candidate key. What's the meaning of the candidate key? Why? Because we know that here the set of one or more column whose combined values are unique. Clear this point here? Such value not going to repeat again and again here in any record, in any table of a column is called as the candidate key here. So we can say that the alternate key of any table simply those candidate key but minus the primary key. Why? Because the primary key is the first column of a table. Secondary key means here the second column of a table. Clear this point here? So but minus the primary key, everything like our primary key only, but also it is not called as the primary key. Why? Because we know that primary key is the first column and secondary key is the second column of a table. So simply we can say about our an alternate key is a key, correct? No, it is alternate key is function of all the candidate key but minus the primary key. Why? Because it is not the first column of a table. So finally we can say the answer for our alternate key as the an alternate key is a an alternate key is also called as the secondary key here, and it function of all the candidate key but minus the primary key. So clear this point here. What about the alternate key? And later next one is about our super key. Why? Because we can say that candidate key means our for any column if you are going to use such value need to write unique, okay, one time only. Primary key, the first column of a table, and what's the value we are using, such value not going to repeat, no duplication can. Alternate key means the second column of a table, so function of all the candidate key but minus the primary key. Now let about our super key. So what about the super key? So basically all set of columns for which no two rows share the same value for those sets. That means here we can say that, so whatever the columns are there in the table here, so many columns are there, maybe 1 2 3 4 5 columns are there in our table, and in every column we are going to use some different kind of the value, such value not going to repeat here. So this one is called as the super key. Clear this point here. So we can say that basically a set of columns for which no two rows, okay, share the same values. Clear this point here. No two columns or no two rows share the same values for those sets here, or simply we can say the super key is a superset of the candidate key, okay. It is a, why? Because we know the meaning of the candidate key, the value not going to repeat. So the super key is a superset of the candidate key, or in simple meaning, and simple meaning we can say that an attribute or set of attribute uniquely identifies a tuple within a relation. That means here also the value not going to repeat, that is called as the super key here. And later after knowing about our super key, the last thing about our foreign key. So we know that, why? Because in our foreign key, now this is the table, okay, the first table, and some of the columns are there in our first table. Now this is about our second table, and here also some of the columns are there. Why? Because in first table 4 columns are there, in second table also 4 columns are there. Now what do you mean by a foreign key? So we can say that a foreign key short form is called as the FK. Foreign key, okay, is a field in relational table. What do you mean by a relational table? Why? Because the table only called as the relational. Why? Because here the relation, how it going to make the relation, it consists of rows and columns. Some of the relation is there between rows and columns is called as the, because of this reason is called as the relational keys here. So now we are in the concept of our foreign key. Clear, correct? No, here. So is a field in relational table that matches the primary key column of another table. Clear this point here. That matches the primary key column of another table. Maybe this column name is the car loan. Clear this point here. So this column name is the car loan. So here also some other column names are there, but the last column name I used as the car loan, and the first column name also I am using as the car loan. It is a different table, 2 tables are there. So what's the meaning of the foreign key here? That means that matches the primary key column of the another table. The primary key column means the first column of a table is called as the primary key, okay. So that matches the primary key column of another table is called as the foreign key. Clear this point here. It's not going to match to the second column, third column, or the fourth. That means the foreign key means that matches the primary. Primary means the first column of a table going to match, or in simple words we can say that the foreign key is used as a cross reference table. Clear this point here it is used as a cross reference table. Why? Because how I matched from one table to the another table just by using the cross reference here. So it is called, or it can be used as a cross reference table. And after completing all the concept about our keys, why? Because the keys also called as the relational database design, and it contains various types of the relational keys. First one is the candidate key CK, second one is the primary key PK, third one is the alternate key SK, and fourth one is the super key, and later next one is about our foreign key. Now the last thing about our relational algebra. So what do you mean by a relational algebra? Why? Because the relational algebra, which is a formal description, that means the meaning of the relational, or which is the correct meaning or the formal meaning in our relational algebra, we can say that how relational database operates. Why? Because whatever the table we are going to arrange here, so that is called as, whatever the data we are going to arrange in table, that is called as the relational database. So how our relational database operates from one to another, it going to tell. Clear this point here? So how relational database operates. And the second thing about an interface to data stored in the database itself. What do you mean by interface? That means maybe some connection, okay kya? And connection, or we can say that a connection to data that is stored in the database. There is some connection is that whatever the data we stored in our database going to relate with each other. And finally we using some of the mathematical SQL operation to make the connection with each other. So it going to tell all those points. That is called about our relational algebra. Clear this point here about the relational algebra in this case here. Why? Because the relational algebra we can say as the formal description how relational database operates, how the table going to make the operation, okay. And second thing here, and how it going to make the operation. Why? Because there is a connection is that whatever the data stored in our database itself here, some of the connection is there between the data. Because of this reason it going to make some of the operations. So we using some of the operations, that is the mathematical SQL operations here to make the connection from one data to the another data. Thank you.